Hello and welcome to BadgerCam. In this week's video, I'm going to be reviewing my Apeman H60 wildlife camera. I've owned this camera now for a good few years, about 5 at the time of making this video, and have a fair bit to say about it. Not done many tech reviews before, and I'm not sure how to go about this video, so I'm just going to kind of break it down into sections. First thing I'm going to waffle on about is the video picture quality. The camera claims to be 1080p footage and 20 megapixel photos. Though the quality can be changed in the settings, I only ever run mine on the maximum settings. The pictures are clearer than the footage, but I'm not sure that either of them meet the quality that is claimed. You can be the judge of that though from the pictures and videos playing in the background. The pictures and videos are okay though. Quality can vary massively depending on the lighting, time of day and the distance of the subject from the camera. Like most cheaper cameras out there, the best results will come from fully lit sunny days. The camera, however, does not like being pointed towards the sun, as apparently there can be too much of a good thing. At night, the camera takes pictures and videos using infrared. These are quite good, but have a limited optimal range, as creatures captured close to the camera will be overly lit by the infrared torch, and creatures far away will appear semi-cloaked in darkness. Quick side note, while recording footage, the camera also captures audio. This is okay, but I have no idea on what scale audio is judged on. The camera can be set up to take both pictures and videos. The pictures are always taken first, with the videos following afterwards. Pictures can be set from 0 to 3 at a time, and videos can be set from 5 to 20-second clips. Over time using this camera, I have done away with taking pictures, preferring to leave it in just 20-second video mode, as the pictures often capture the subject moving past, with the videos missing the subject as it leaves the frame. Downtime on the sensors can also be changed to reduce the number of hits one animal will make. However, I have found it is best kept on the lowest delay to avoid missing out on shots. The sensors on this camera are quite good, claiming to be effective up to 65 foot out. Pointing in 3 directions, they will trigger before an animal enters the frame. This can be good and bad, as near captures can occur when an animal is milling around near the edges of the camera. The sensors work from a fair distance away though. Recently I installed the camera way back from the road, screened by bushes, and was shocked to find that traffic at 10 meters away was still triggering the camera through the bushes. I'm not 100% sure, but it even got some shots of people moving in the forest out beyond, which was about 30 meters away. However, this could be a bird or leaf triggering the camera, and more testing would be needed. There seems to be a fair bit of lag between the sensor being triggered though and animals showing up on the footage. About 2 or 3 seconds depending on how close the subject is, as oftentimes the recording will start with the animal in the middle of the frame, rapidly leaving it, even when the subject is approaching the camera straight on. Fast moving animals will often be missed by the camera at closer ranges if the time it takes for them to move through the shot is less than the 2-second lag for the trigger time. All in all though, the camera does get some nice footage. The best subjects are usually the ones taking a slower, leisurely walk. Don't expect to get many critters that happen to be running late at the time they pass the camera. When it comes to batteries and power for this camera, it does come with an external power source, but I have never been in a place to use it. Forested areas often lack plug sockets. I imagine though this would be good for those trying to capture footage closer to home. This camera runs on 8 AA sized batteries. Battery wise, this camera is a bit picky, as if used with cheaper batteries it will only work for a short time, and often not at all at night, as the infrared must be pretty draining on the power. I only use Duracells in this camera now, though a few of my friends who also use this camera use high power rechargeables just fine. I need to get some of these, as running the camera a lot eats up a lot of batteries, and rechargeables would be a cheaper, more sustainable source of power for this. With normal wildlife activity levels, I find I can get a bit over a month of working time from the camera with it set to 20-second video clips. Animal activity plays a big part though in how long you can leave this camera out in the field, as I'm sure if the place you chose to put it was very quiet and there was no moving bushes causing hits from the wind, that this thing would keep going for months. Another thing that affects the working time of the camera is the memory card. This camera came with a 16 gig memory card. I upped mine to the maximum 32 gig memory card and find that I get about 470 20-second clips from the camera before it's full up and the camera stops recording. If you were running this in picture only mode though, I would imagine that the thing could run for months on end, as pictures use up far less battery and memory than the videos. Moving on to durability, I've had the H60 out for months at a time in all weathers, from boiling hot days during the summer to freezing cold and snowing in the winter. It's been soaked a number of times, and it is certainly waterproof as claimed, or weatherproof as claimed. In colder weather, however, condensation can form on the inside of the battery tray. This has led to some light rust in my one over time, but it hasn't caused the camera any damage really so far. Overall, the construction of the camera case is okay. I wouldn't want to drop it on concrete as the plastic can be quite brittle. One of the locking latches on mine fell off after it was used in a cold spat, pretty much of its own accord, but thankfully the other latches are held on so far, as without this the camera would be kind of hard to set up. But overall, for a life spent mostly in backpacks or stationary tied to the side of a tree, the camera's construction is okay. The camera can be mounted in a few ways. It comes with a wall bracket that I've never used, and has a screw attachment on the base that fits onto camera tripods, though again I've never found a use for both of these features. The main way I set this camera up is by using the rails at the rear of the camera to tie it to a tree. I have found that a stick placed behind the rails to aim the camera down slightly improves the framing of closer animals and leads to better footage. The camera comes with an adjustable green nylon belt for this use, though over time I've lost it. Now I use string to tie it to a tree in conjunction with a bike lock to try and put off potential thieves. Speaking of potential thieves though, the camera does have a padlock hole to stop it being opened up, but with the quality of the plastic, anyone willing to wrench this open wouldn't have much difficulty in doing so, and I doubt that the rails would hold up to a good kick. However, if you so wish, you can make the camera password protected, only being usable after the right up, down, left and right buttons are pressed in the right way, meaning anyone who stole the camera wouldn't be able to use it without entering the right Mortal Kombat finishing move, which I think is a nice touch for a cheaper camera. Segueing onto the price from here, I paid £60 for this camera, and I think that for the price that the camera is worth it. Overall, the H60 camera trap is nothing amazing. It has its faults, but despite this, it does everything okay. And I'm okay with that, as although there are better cameras out there, they come with quite a price hike for the increased quality, and this puts me off getting them for general use due to the potential for it to be nicked. If you're after an all singing, all dancing wildlife camera that takes amazing, perfect 4K images and footage, this isn't the camera for you. But if you're a casual hobbyist just looking for a cheap entry-level way to watch the local wildlife, you can't go far wrong for the price. Anyway, that's my review of the Apeman H60 wildlife camera. Hope you've enjoyed the video and found it helpful if you're thinking about getting one of these. Until next time though, look after yourselves and have a good one. Goodbye.